Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Are you guys having a great time? I'm having a nervous time here because, ask me why. Because I'm speaking in front of some of the best speakers in the world. That's got to count for something, right? So, just a little bit of an introduction. So, my name is Francis Miranda. I'm known as the unapologetic dude. So, I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a business. I'm also an ex-advertising guy. So, I've been working in advertising for 17 years, and just 2 years ago, I decided to turn the table and say, I don't want anymore. I want to quit, walk away from advertising, and pursue my dream of becoming an inspirational speaker. And I'm just so amazed today that in this room, two of my mentors are here. So the first one is my NLP coach, who's over here somewhere. And there you go, my NLP coach, and Jay as well. So these two people, they've influenced me to become a speaker. They're the ones who kicked my ass. Coach Edwin, Coach Jay, they're the ones who kicked my ass to become a speaker. And right now, I believe in paying it forward, and I brought with me some friends who were also working on becoming speakers as well. So I have one of the things that I'm also very grateful for is that I finally wrote my book, which I've been working on for 2 years. Until Lloyd Luna caused me to panic a month ago and said, you gotta publish it for PAPS. And he essentially kicked my ass. And I had no choice but to consume vast amounts of Starbucks to finish writing these books. So my two books are Unapologetic and WTF, Questions that will unlock your creativity. They're available outside. So, my being a speaker, there's a funny story attached to it. Is it okay if I share that story with you guys? Okay, so it started off like I decided that I wanted to quit advertising. So I went 2 months, I went on a soul-searching trip. I went to different countries. A lot of the countries that you guys are from, I went to. So can I have a shout for New Zealand? Australia? Canada? The United States? There. So I went 2 months going abroad. And of course, because I was soul searching, there's no money that comes into soul searching. So I had to come back to the Philippines and, get this public speaking gig up and running. And I remember I consulted my mentor. And I was telling him that, I was asking him, hey, you're an established speaker. How do I become famous? And you know what he told me? He said, Tangerks! Tangerks. I'll translate to our foreign friends here. It means stupid. He said that it's not all about the fame, but it's all about the relevancy. And one of the things that I learned when I deal with a lot of young speakers who also want to become speakers is I discovered that there were also certain myths. The reason why I'm a bit nervous to be up here today is because a lot of the guys here, you've been speaking for 20 years. I've only been speaking for a couple of years. So compared to the giants out here, I may be a physical giant, but I'm an infant compared to you guys. But I did pick up some myths of being a professional speaker, which I myself learned the hard way, okay? And maybe if you guys agree with me, just give a yelp if you agree with me, okay? So the first myth is fame is the ultimate objective. Do you guys agree with that? Yeah, so, I made this mistake of thinking that fame was the end-all, be-all of being a speaker. And my mentor, he really slapped my face so silly that I had to learn that lesson the hard way. And thankfully, I learned the lesson. But the second myth I picked up is if you build it, they will come. Sometimes we hear the story that, if you build your platform, they will come. But if you notice, there's a ... after that because they will come, but eventually, not easily. It takes time. And as I started to develop myself, my brand of being a speaker, I realized, oh my gosh, it's not as easy as it seems. And the more experienced speakers out there, I'm sure you agree with me, right? Right? Yes. Okay, and the third myth is everyone will love me. Oh, here in the Philippines, I think a lot of us are closeted people pleasers. That at the moment somebody says a negative thing, about you, oh my gosh, that is so gonna break your heart. And I remember the talk of Christian, right? Why is it so difficult for us to give a rejection? Because for Filipinos, no way, you're not gonna hear a rejection from us. We're gonna say, oh, we'll consider you and stuff like that. And for us, that's really very painful. If a negative review comes out, oh my gosh, that's really painful. And these were the myths that I picked up early on as I developed my speaking career. And I discovered that there was actually a speaker's choice. The speaker's choice was really popularity, preaching what the audience wants to hear just to get mass adulation. Or what my mentor told me, the idea of relevancy, where you transform the lives of a particular group of relevant audiences through a message that the audience needs. And this is where it became interesting for me, because suddenly it repositioned the journey for me. It's not just a battle of popularity, but it's also a battle for relevance. The idea is, who are we relevant to? And I love this movie. Who of you guys have seen The Greatest Showman? Yeah, I love that movie, right? Amazing songs or amazing music. And one of my favorite scenes from that that movie was when Hugh Jackman was talking to his wife, and he was like sharing about his ambition and about how come the world doesn't love me. And the wife said, you know what? You don't need to be loved by everybody. You only need to be loved by a few good ones. And for us as speakers, you only need to be relevant to the ones who need you at the moment. And it's very easy, this thing that we stand on, this platform, it's very easy for us it's very easy for the voices out there to drown our voice out. But one thing I've learned, and one of the greatest things I've been blessed with our mentors, and right now, having heard all your talks, I consider a lot of you guys to be my mentors as well. Those of you who've spoken here, thank you very much for mentoring me. I've discovered that the platform can also drown out your own voice. But hearing advice from this, it allows you to also listen to your voice, to tune in to what is it that matters. And for me, I'm going to share with you what I think are the pillars of relevancy. And like what I said, the difficult thing of being in the last space. A lot of stuff has been spoken about, but let's give it a go, right? So first is, what I want to say is that it's important for us to listen to our internal voice. One of the reasons why I wrote Unapologetic, my book, is I feel like a lot of people, they're so concerned about the opinions of other people that they fail to listen to their own voice. That voice gets lost. You get afraid, you get fear, you get scared from the judgment of other people, and that voice, it just gets lost. And the one message I really love to preach is that you have to listen to your voice. Your voice matters. It's a very powerful voice. So you have to listen to your internal voice, and you know what it's saying. And right now, I'd like to share what I call are my pillars of relevancy. So the very first is, of course, the message. The second is the tribe. And the last is the stories. Okay? So let's quickly go through them. The very first one is, what is your powerful message? What is the transformative message that is based on your personal truth? I'm an improv comedian, so I do comedy. And improv comedy is the type of comedy where there's no script. You go up on stage and you have to create some sort of a skit. And when I first started to do improv comedy, I was completely terrified that, oh my gosh, I'm witty enough to do this. And I discovered that, well, the secret is not in being witty. The secret is in being honest, to share your personal truth. And our individual experiences, the stories that we have, that's part of the transformative message that we have based on our personal truth. And, our message is really grounded on our personal belief and our convictions. And it's really motivated by a desire to help other people and really transform the world. One of the things that gives me shivers right now, standing here in front of you guys, is because I see in front of me so many people with the capacity to transform the world. Amazing. Amazing. And for me, the message is that each and every one of you guys preach to the world, share to the world, that has the capacity to transform. The second is the tribe. The idea is that we are not supposed to try to get everyone. Let's choose the one, the niche. Who is going to be our loyal audience? Who are the people that our message uniquely crafted to take care of? In my group today, I'm very happy because I have I have very exciting friends who are building their speaking careers. One of them wants to build her career for medical professionals who are stressed. Another one wants to build his career on people who have undergone major trauma in their life. Wow, isn't that changing the world? So the tribe is the anchor of our relevancy. When we know who is the tribe that we want to go after, that's going to be the anchor of our own relevancy. And the last is the stories that we tell through media. Content rules. We've heard this so many times today, and I'm just going to breeze through it quickly because we've already heard it. What is the content that you create that adds value to the lives of your tribe? For other people, it's videos that add value to the tribe. For others, it's newsletters. For others, it's books. Check. What is the content that we create that will do that? What are the pulpits that we have? What stages do we have at our disposal to be able to share this message to the world? And how does our content hit people from a seminal moment down to the everyday? Like today, I had so many seminal moments. My notebook is like halfway filled because there were so many seminal moments. And I'm sure you guys experienced that today, right? Yes. But the question is, how do we translate that into the day-to-day? That's what matters. And the equation is very simple for me. It's their need plus your message equals transform tribes. We're all about transformation here. And we transform lives by being unapologetically relevant. And how do we do that? We unapologetically find our tribe and we love them. We love them with an obsession. When we know who our audience is, the tribe that we're called, it's our vocation to call them, to take care of them. We love them unapologetically. We take care of this tribe. And because, like what I was saying, we're given the opportunity and the gift to unapologetically transform the world one tribe at a time. And to quote Miss Universe, rather the universe. And I think that each and every one of us here has that capacity. Do you guys believe that you are earth changers? Yes, and I believe that. My gosh, that's why standing here in front of you, it's really a tremendous honor for me because I'm in front of people who are changing the world literally. And before I started to go up here, I was speaking with Romeo and he gave me this tidbit because he's a theater guy. He said, for actors, it's ACT, act, always create truth. But for speakers like us, the truth is very simple. We always create transformation. And I believe that every person here, in the world we're living right now, there's so many things that we want to change, right? There's so many things that we're not happy about with the world that we're living in right now. But the great news is that there's so many people in here who are slowly transforming, little by little, individual tribes. And before you know it, the world has become transformed. Thank you very much, Paps, for having me here today. Thank you.